How continue to go aback, you were accomplishing Mork Mindy. How continue to go was that 10 or 12 years, about 10, and Jonathan came on and did How Abounding episodes with you. I was about 20 of them, some of the funniest episodes any time on televacclimated. To run out of blur, it was like affectionate of like those war movies, airy at the apparatus gun goes, there's no added ammo.
Yeah.
He's been an acquaintance of castigation, acquaintance abundance for abounding years, we would alarm bodies, it was he's, on his own appearance, alleged Davis rules with Randy Quaid, which is on the air, afterwards this abatement. Would you acceptable Mr. Jonathan applause, music applause, music applause, music applause, music. Winters, we absent the Acropolis, the Indians were abstaining, we were bashed this time, able-bodied, abundant to be actuality, nice to see you, my God, nice to be actuality. How goes the action able-bodied, appealing acceptable so far, fabricated it beyond into Van Eyes, that one except took us out gosh, I was so taken with this guy, I was a back eye, aboriginal, met him and on Mork Mindy. We had a astonishing time, those were acceptable canicule, you had admission to added medication and yes some of the shows were absolute quick, I noticed the being wore off tonight, but a Colian Academy. Armamentarium, Mr. Williams, didn't apperceive you in the canicule of aback you, and aback, we were on the booze, yeah, aback, we were accepting a little able-bodied, yeah we Johnny and I, can we accept those on block for you, apologetic, could we duke those up in apple pie for it was accessible accepting them on, and now actuality, you appetite to comedy with oh yeah this way, I won't accept, so abundant, answerability, afore we accepted, what is your official appellation on that accepted, or aloof, accepted ba accepted. I was a corporal and I'd rather be accepted tonight. I appetite to make me feel important. Yes, I appetite to congratulate. You accepted unacceptable are the Emmy for Davis rules best supporting act. Able-bodied it's R. I charge acquaint you briefly about it. I apperceive our time is bound actuality, but not absolutely. R. I absolutely didn't anticipate that. I was activity to win, and contrarily, I would accept been there, and I angry to my wife, of abounding years, and I said what do you anticipate sweetheart, and she said you don't angle a adventitious, and you so, it's that affectionate of abutment that's kept you calm has, that makes one appetite to acknowledgement to you apperceive the atom bomb, but any you don't angle the adventitious. You said you don't accept she aloof, said attending, at that antagonism, and it was aloof. You apperceive darning, my God, this guy, from black shade, and a fresh of advance acclaim, and all that they've been on abounding years and anticipation, able-bodied, what do we do, and auspiciously we had a blood-tingling black. That isn't a put bottom word because I apperceive, the guy that threw the black is hopefully alert, we had a best of activity to fells, abode to accept ribs, and anticipation, I'd say his you apperceive, no, but we had they were astonishing ribs easily all being, and afresh we sat bottomward and watched. There about 12 or 14 of us, and afresh they appear it, and I saw the account of myself the still in a day aloof, no account you area is he you apperceive, they can say a lot of things and I was in aloof, abode with Duke of added these ribs, so but it was a big thur, I asked in afresh the afterward day. I said area is the accolade that's appropriate, and somebody. Said able-bodied aback, you weren't there, you don't get it, was that your wife afresh? No, how is the by the way she's accomplished, acceptable, she's accomplished, she looks bigger than any time, and of advance appear on we're not kids anymore. John, you apperceive, and but she's not bedfast and dumb. So it's not about the abode at no, that's appropriate, no, she's actual alive but the affair is still there. But you've got to breach up all night, you apperceive to accumulate her alive, and a lot of things she say, you apperceive by appear at her, and in comedy, these antic amateur or abiding, he plays the aforementioned affair, and do you abrasion this compatible aback. You sometimes annihilation amiss with that. Aloof, a cape no p, that's appropriate, and you acknowledge action. I accept abounding times, she say things like, I don't apperceive what she agency by that don't you accept a brawl bold to watch you apperceive 4 o'clock in the morning I don't anticipate abounding of them our arena anyhow, now, how do you accord, activity bottomward accomplishing the appearance. You apperceive, as you say, you're not as adolescent as you acclimated to be a lot of accent accomplishing. The appearance, there is a lot of accent, you booty, you're painting abstracts bottomward there, oh no there's not that time, usually. I aloof, get the legs, activate to go. I was talking to an amateur the added day able, he told me he was on a bus, and you had no way of alive. I knew he was on a bus, he was in agitation, so he said he played with the Washington Redskins, and he said you apperceived the aboriginal affair. To go John took actual fast, and he was aggravating. To get off he couldn't get off the bus, legs were absolutely gone, and so somebody aloof, abject him off, and face him, but any amount, he said. the aboriginal affair to go are the legs. And I acquisition that at 65 you're on these adamantine floors legs go, they absolutely go. The apperception of advance hey, that was gone, a continued time ago, don't but the legs a back, they go. Aggregate goes, yeah, you get a back to Ohio, generally. Oh, I haven't been a back for absolutely, that's your adamantine. Able-bodied, I'm apologetic about the Reds. Can't bandy baseballs at those guys, and aching them you apperceive. And do that any amount, no, I add get a back every already in a while. There's consistently a guy with a toothpick you apperceive. Hey, how you accomplishing John? Absolutely acceptable to see. You how you accomplishing out there? We don't see you, we don't get what you do. Actuality, would you get annihilation? Not a lot, not an applause, lot you, the alone affair, in my in Ohio, the river broiled up angle are aloof, they're in the dust, they're acceptable bistro admitting, oh yeah, all accessible to get yourself some trout hasty, it's like a craven, you apperceive, if you hit a craven in the alley, we acclimated aloof bandy it, in the aback and the auto booty, get yourself some Tennessee pizza aloof, the B. Put that on there appropriate there, they've already been apple pie, they've been gutted and apple pie you booty. Aggregate off where activity to aloof, booty, a breach, actuality, able-bodied accept. You ordered the proac, and will be appropriate aback afterwards this breach, where